Greetings, my friends. Please consider supporting me in my war to save pop culture by subscribing to my channel and possibly even becoming a channel member for exclusive videos, access to Doomcock emojis, and more. And if you like this video in particular, please consider using the new Super Thanks feature and putting a tip in the tip jar located next to the like buttons down at the bottom of the video. Thank you for watching, and now, on to the video. My friends, I have seen the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I am here before you now to make my witness. This review will be light on spoilers, and I will try to keep them general, though frankly, there's not a lot to spoil here, not a lot that you guys don't already know from the trailers and other leaks earlier. Essentially, Kenobi is hiding out on Tatooine. Some Inquisitors are hunting Jedi on Tatooine, and he's doing his best to keep his head down when Bail Organa contacts him from Alderaan. Leia has been kidnapped, so Kenobi has to go off-world to save her. But alas for Kenobi, the kidnapping of Leia is a trap by Riva, the bestest Inquisitor ever! Her boss, the Grand Inquisitor, and his brother Inquisitor chide Riva for being obsessed with Kenobi, but she hates his Kenobi with a red-hot rage that very quickly becomes laughable to the point where it's embarrassing, frankly. And that's basically all you need to know about the plot. We won't go into much more detail than that, except to point out a few individual moments to illustrate the points I want to make in this review.
Okay, Doomcock, so go ahead and lay it on us all. Was it good? Was it bad? And was it woke?
The answer is yes, yes, and yes. It is good, it is bad, and it is certainly woke. This makes it a challenge to review, but I'll give you the good, the bad, and the fugly as I see it. First of all, I would say that Ewan McGregor does a great job with Kenobi, considering the material he was given to work with. Sadly, at this point in the show, Kenobi is beaten down, depressed, and passive, working in a slaughterhouse to make ends meet while he watches over Anakin from afar. He kind of reminds me of Jon Snow in these first 2 episodes, because basically every time Kenobi is confronted with the opportunity for combat or adventure, he's like, I don't want it. He's shy, tentative, and reluctant to engage. He hardly uses the Force at all, except at one point in desperation. The pace of the show is accordingly slow, but that said, I wasn't really bored. I appreciate a quiet character study, but others may not be so patient. Overall, this feels like more grown-up Star Wars. It lacks the more pathetic qualities of Disney Star Wars. There isn't a whole lot of juvenile comic relief like with Amy Sedaris' Grease Monkey in The Mandalorian. There is, of course, a spunky kid sidekick in the form of young Leia Organa. And, of course, they make her woke as well. At one point, she puts her older male cousin in his place to make a point. Girl power, yay. Of course, she has a older male cousin, so of course she has to put him down because, hey, this is Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars after all. I warn you right now, while it's less heavy-handed than other Disney shows, agenda runs through Obi-Woke Kenobi like veins through marble. And there's just no escaping it, folks. The wokeness cheapens the overall show, and yes, between Riva and Leia, Kenobi being passive and all that, he seems a lot like a special guest star on his own show, especially in episode 2. Still, Obi-Woke Kenobi looks expensive. The Blade Runner-like city Kenobi travels to in episode 2 looks beautiful. The music is effective if a bit bland, and overall I'd say that, annoyances aside, this is close to being a good show and some of the best Star Wars that Disney has produced, and I didn't suffer watching it except whenever I'd see Riva on the screen. The worst part of this show is indeed Riva. Now it's quite clear why the Wicked Witch of the West Coast and her woke flying monkeys are already putting it out there that any criticism of Riva is only racism, because they know she sucks. Without a doubt, Riva is the worst part of Obi-Woke Kenobi, and I'm not going to be gaslit or intimidated out of saying the truth about this. Now, how does Riva suck? Let me count the ways. I'm not entirely sure if Moses Ingram sucks as an actor, or if Deborah Cho's direction of Riva sucked, or if it was the writing, or all three elements combining into a perfect storm of suck. But regardless, Riva sucks. Riva is the living embodiment of woke agenda. She's there making statements all over the place, but we'll get to that in a minute. The worst part of Riva is how glaringly one-note this character is. Riva starts out angry, then she gets angry, after which we get to see her angry for a change. Then she becomes furious, going ree as she jumps around from roof to roof in pursuit of Kenobi.
Wait a minute. She really goes ree as she's jumping around? What, in battle?
Nah. Riva is so gosh darn angry, she goes ree even when she's all alone, jumping around. It might have been grrr, to be fair, but it seemed pretty ree to me. But regardless, I just laughed. And that's a really bad sign, folks. When a villain is so over the top, it becomes corny. I mean, it's just silly how angry this crazy asshole is. Riva is a flat, boring, one-note performance that borders on self-parody. I mean, I know the sister is oh so angry all the time at the patriarchy, but for fuck's sake, does that mean feminist activists go ree while putting on deodorant or brushing their teeth? Riva snaps at people needlessly as she walks around. I'm talking bystanders in the crowd. She chops off a woman's hand for no reason. She snarls, she scowls, she resents the patriarchy. She has it in for her white male boss, the Grand Inquisitor. She hates Kenobi with a hate stolen from Mara Jade, lifted right out of the Thrawn trilogy, where she hated Luke. Well, Riva hates Kenobi 10 times worser, cause Riva is the bestest Inquisitor ever. But what a ridiculously flat, boring character she is. Seriously, I was rolling my eyes damn near every time she was on screen. And so were the other Inquisitors. Even they thought, Riva, dude, chill. She goes and chops off that woman's hand just for shits and giggles to prove how badass she is, and the other Inquisitors are like, what the fuck, chica? Chill out, you crazy fuckette. I tell you, a villain should be a joy to watch. Darth Vader, Boba Fett, Thrawn, these characters had a mystery to them, a depth. They were fascinating and fun to watch as they executed their villainous deeds. But Riva is just petulant, angry, obnoxious, angry, shallow, angry, and very, very angry. There's a cartoon strip called The Angriest Dog in the World by David Lynch. This comic strip ran for years, and it was always the same drawing of a furious dog so angry, all it can do is rigidly strain at the end of its leash and growl. And that's basically Riva. What a one-dimensional character she is, and that's all there is to her. She gets extremely tiresome to watch very, very quickly. In short, Riva is a shitty villain. And is she ever woke? Holy shit, is she woke. How woke? Well, the other two Inquisitors are white. One is Asian white male, the other is white man white. It turns out Riva has a chip on her shoulder because the Grand Inquisitor considers her to be the least of the three. That they found her and snatched her out of the gutter, and she's all like, ah, hell nah. And so she kills the Grand Inquisitor, striking a coded blow against the patriarchy and condescending men. Yawn. It's supposed to be a Slay Queen moment when she kills him, and you're supposed to jump up and go, you go, girl! And after she kills him, she looks down at his body and says, who's in the gutter now? Oh, snap. But in the meantime, Kenobi, who was trapped with Leia in a warehouse in a trap set up by Riva, manages to slip away to a ship and escape. So Riva, in striking a blow against the patriarchy, fucks up and lets Kenobi escape. Bravo, Slay Queen, you go, girl. And it's outright hilarious with Riva running after Kenobi's escaping ship, shaking her lightsaber up at him as he leaves, going, "I'll get you, Obi-Wan! Ree! And your little dog too! Ree!" I just laughed and laughed. It was so pathetic. She was so small against that departing ship, and shown from a high angle, she looked as small in stature as she is in presence. Riva is a shitty villain. Her evil is the petulance of a Karen ranting at a clerk in the A&P for being out of fish sticks. The only difference is this Karen has a lightsaber and a team of woke scriptwriters to make her the bestest Slay Queen ever.
It doesn't sound like this is very good, Doomcock.
Well, as I said, it's good and it's bad and it's woke. You can take your pick. But once again, Obi-Wan, like Boba Fett, is more or less just another character in his own show. Because he's traumatized by all that happened with Order 66 and the fall of the Republic and all that, Kenobi is fairly passive in this. He cowers a lot. He hides from the Inquisitors, hides from Riva when she's got him cornered in the warehouse, and the big problem with this is, regardless of how depressed Kenobi is, he shouldn't actually seem afraid of her. But he does. It's one thing to avoid using the Force because you're worried it might draw Sith to you or something. Okay, well, I can get that on Tatooine when you're trying to keep on the down low for Luke's sake, but it's another thing entirely. When you're clearly being hunted off-world and Riva is there alone with her lightsaber, why not get out your lightsaber and show her what's what? Show her who's boss. Show her who is old school. Show her whose show this is. It's one-on-one, remember, between Obi-Wan and Riva. Still, even if you're not having Kenobi engage because discretion is the better part of valor, do not direct Ewan McGregor to act like Kenobi is actually scared, because Obi-Wan is no damn chicken shit. But hey, Riva is a Slay Queen, the bestest Inquisitor ever! So of course, Deborah Cho wants to belittle Kenobi, being so patriarchy-like in his skin tone and choice of chromosomes, and make Riva just so amazing.
So, this is the Riva and Leia show with special guest star Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Pretty much. This is about as good as Disney Star Wars gets, people, but that is faint praise indeed. If you can stomach Riva's one-note agenda-driven character and the other splashes of wokeness scattered liberally throughout the show, then you'll probably enjoy the show. And it does have promise, given that Vader is coming, but honestly, we'll have to see if they shift the balance back to Ewan McGregor, and it depends on how quickly they give Obi-Wan his balls back. But at this point, I'd say it's okay overall, with some good moments, and at least one terribly flat character that kinda ruins the rest of the show. We will be discussing this more on Pop Culture Breakdown on Sunday with a big group review, but for now, I'd say this was pretty much what we were expecting, sadly. There's a great show in here somewhere, but they haven't found it yet. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha.